Yeshodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yeshodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravana Chari Yamuna Tiravana Chari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Jaya Gurudeva Karama Sakhi Ki Jai Hare Krishna Mama Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vishnu Ki Jai Hare Krishna devotees, welcome to Iskcon Seshadripuram Daily Bhagavatam online class. Today, the verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, 4th chapter, 4th canto, 6th chapter, 47 and 48 verses. Pratagdiya karmadrusho durashaya Pradyo neapitar drujo anisham Parandrupte visudanti aruntuda Tanmavadi Daiva Vadan Bhavatidaha Pratagdiya karmadrusho durashaya Parodayena pitar darjo anisham Parandrupte visudanti aruntuda Tanmavadi Daiva Vadan Bhavatidaha Pratagdiya karmadrusho durashaya Parodayena pitar drujo nisham Parandurate vitudanti aruntudas Tanmavadi daiva vadan bhavat vidaha. Synonyms, word to word translation. Pratak, differently. Diyaha, those who are thinking. Karma, fruitive activities. Drishaha, observer. Durashaya, mean-minded. Para udayena, by others' flourishing condition. Arpita, given us. Prit, heart. Rujaha, anger. Anisham, always. Paran, others. Duruktahi, harsh words. Vitudanti, use pain. Aruntudaha, by piercing words. Tan, unto them. Ma, not, not. Avadit, kill. Daiva, by providence. Vadan, already killed. Bhavat, you. Vidaha, like. Translation. Persons who observe everything with differentiation, who are simply attached to fruitive activities, who are mean-minded, who are always pained to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus give distress to them but uttering harsh and piercing words, have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Persons who are materialistic and always engaged in fruitive activities for material profit cannot endure seeing the flourishing life of others. Except for a few persons in Krishna consciousness, the entire world is full of such envious persons who are perpetually full of anxieties because they are attached to the material body and are without self-realization. Since their hearts are always filled with anxiety, it is understood that they have already been killed by providence. Thus, Lord Shiva, as a self-realized Vaishnava, was advised not to kill Daksha. A Vaishnava is described as Paradukha Dukhi because although he is never distressed in any condition of life, he is distressed to see others in a distressed condition. Vaishnavas therefore should not try to kill by any action of the body or mind, but should try to revive the Krishna consciousness of others out of compassion for them. The Krishna consciousness movement has been started to deliver the pious persons of the world from the clutches of Maya. And even though devotees are sometimes put into trouble, they push on the Krishna consciousness movement in all tolerance. Lord Chaitanya advises Pranadapi Sunicena Narorapi Sayushnana Amanena Manadena Kirtanya Sadari. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking himself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than the tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Sikshakstaka 3. A Vaishnava should follow the examples of such a Vaishnavas as Haridas Thakura, Nityananda Prabhu, and also Lord Jesus Christ. There is no need to kill anyone who has already been killed, but it should be noted here with that a Vaishnava should not tolerate the blaspheming of Vishnu or Vaishnavas, although he should tolerate personal insults to himself. Here the first verse ends. We will move to the today's next verse, 6.48, 4.6.48. यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करनाभमायया दुरन्तया स्पृष्टधिया पृथग्दृशः कुर्वन्ति तत्र ये अनुकम्पाय कृपम् नासाद्वोदैव बलत्कृते क्रमम् यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करनाभमायया दुरन्तया स्पृष्टधिया प्रतादृशः कुर्वन्ति तत्र ये अनुकम्पया कृपां नासात्वोदीव बलत्कृते क्रमम् यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करणाभमायया दुरन्तया स्पृष्टधिया प्रतादृशः कुर्वन्ति तत्र ये अनुकम्पाय कृपम् नासात्वदैव बलत्कृते क्रमम् यस्मिन् यदा पुष्करणाभमायया दुरन्तया स्पृष्टधिया प्रतादृशः कुर्वन्ति तत्र हि अनुकम्पाय कृपां दासाद्वोदिव बलात् कृते क्रमम्. Synonyms, word to word translation. Yashmim, Yashmin, in some place, Yada, when, Pushkara Nabha Mayaya, by the illusionary energy of Pushkara Nabha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Durantaya, insurmountable, Prastadiyaha, bewildered, Pratakdashaha, the same person who see differently, Purvanti, do, Tatra, there, he, certainly, Anukampaya, out of compassion, Kripam, mercy, never, Sadavaha, saintly persons, Daiva Balat, by providence, Krite, being done, Kramam, prowess. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusionary energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously, knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusionary energy. He does not show his prowess to counteract them. Perfect. It is said that the beauty of a tapasvi or saintly person is forgiveness. There are many instances in the spiritual history of the world in which many saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. Parishit Maharaja, for example, was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahmana boy, and this was very much regretted by the boy's father. But Parishit Maharaja accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week as the Brahmana boy desired. Parikshit Maharaja was the emperor and was full in power both spiritually and materially. But out of compassion and out of respect for the Brahmana community, he did not counteract the action of the Brahmana boy, but agreed to die within 7 days because it was desired by Krishna that Parishit Maharaj agreed to the punishment so that the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world. Parikshit Maharaja was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lack in strength, rather it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. Here the perfect sense. ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहन रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च हे कृष्णकरुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचना गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुदेवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे Hare Krishna. Today's verses are very wonderful verses. The first verse deals with tolerance. The second verse also almost deals with the tolerance of a devotee. See, in this particular verse, Prabhupada mentioned that, or we will understand the little background, then we will get into the today's topic. So let us connect, with our what I say. Little background about the fourth chapter and sixth chapter, fourth canto, and a little brief about the other verses. Then we can connect easily the slokas. So the fourth canto basically divided into two portions. Right now we are in the first portion, that is Daksha's sacrifice. Daksha, who is the father-in-law of Lord Shiva and father of Sati. And this goes from second chapter to seventh chapter. So in that way, which we have come across, the today's problem statement first we have to understand from where this topic started and how we are getting into today's discussion. This discussion started from how could Daksha hate Shiva? One should know the background of why Daksha hates Lord Shiva. We all know Shiva is the topmost Vaishnava and Daksha is the topmost among the Prajapatis. Here, Daksha puffed of qualification. He thinks that I am the great devotee in serving the Lord. So, Lord will see only the love in whatever we offer, rather how big service we do. So, with that, understanding, Daksha and Shiva at sacrificial arena, Daksha insulted and cursed Shiva. So there is one homa or sacrifice arena where Daksha arranged for the welfare of this entire the Prajapatis and the Prajas like this. And in that way, what for he cursed Lord Shiva? For not rising from seat and respected Daksha. This is see how great I am. So I am the greatest in procreation. He was deeply involved into procreation, into grahastha life or sexual life. So in that way, he got that puffed up quality of creating so much of jivas, and he thought that I am so great devotee. So in that way, this ego started, this envious started between Daksha and Shiva. Shiva is very innocent, and Daksha thinking about he is so great and exalted like that. Then Shiva created Virabhadra, and he and Shiva's follower destroyed the Daksha's sacrifice and beheaded the Daksha. Daksha said is gone because of all his enviousness. And then this sixth chapter. The sixth chapter where we are discussing is Brahma and Devatas went to Kailasa and glorified Shiva. Why? Because Daksha is a small entity in front of you. Why you are a topmost Vaishnava? Why you want to get into all these things like that? Brahma as an associate, like the one who is near equivalent to Lord Shiva, and they have always this mood of sharing. They are beyond all our contaminated mindset. Then Brahma also goes there and satisfies Lord Shiva to protect the beheaded Daksha by Virabhadra. So Daksha should be revived back. So again Daksha has to come and because they all are sons of Brahma, so it's a duty of a Brahma also and all other demigods to protect this entire creation as per the instruction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this chapter, this under this sixth chapter, first section we have discussed about Devatas approach Brahma for help because this sacrificial arena becomes so chaotic condition and they all went and approached Brahma for the help, what to do next. Then we come across description of the Kailasa hill. That means they have to travel to Kailasa where the direct, opponents. So Daksha's favoring, devotees are one side, and Lord Shiva's favoring devotees are another side. So it's a duty of Brahma, like comparing stand. So he is going there and then compromising. So some both the players are fighting. So there we need some middle person to get in to uh, solve the problem. So Brahma is getting into that mood. Then, while getting into the description of the Kailasa hill, we are getting how nice Lord Shiva is and darshan of Lord Shiva. It's not that easy, to have a darshan of Lord Shiva. He is Vaishnavanam Yathasambho. So among the Vaishnavas, he is the topmost. And then the fourth division, what we are discussing about from 42nd verse to 53rd verse. Right now we are in 47 and 48. Brahma speaks to convince Lord Shiva. So in this convincing matter, what and all we have come across, he says, as a Shaivate mood, Lord Brahma is, because he knows that he is a Shaivate, so how he has to get into, pitch into. So you create, maintain, destroy this universe. You have only created this sacrifice using Daksha as an instrument. So that means with the death of Daksha, the sacrifice will stop and there will be misfortune. So this sacrifice should happen because it's a Lord's instruction. And you have only created the Varnashrama system which is being protected by Brahmanas. That means why are you punishing those Brahmanas now? So this sacrificial arena becomes so unattended. So immediately Brahma is pitching in and Brahma is trying to convince or glorify the position of Lord Shiva. And it cannot be due to your anger because anger doesn't arise even in those who have taken shelter of your lotus feet. How can you get angry? Even the person who gets shelter into you, they will not get angry. You do not have to kill sinful people who become angry at seeing the prosperity of others. They have already killed by the law of karma. Please spare sinful of sinful daksha. So this is a request from Brahma to Lord Shiva. Then it goes to whenever such people commit offenses to the devotees show mercy to them. Do not attack them. These are the prayers. Now we will get into the verse. So this is the situation. You got that, why they both are fighting, and in the fighting, Daksha lost his head. And this is the present situation. Now we will understand exactly what Prabhupada tries to explain this present position. The present position, the translation once again I'll read. Persons who observe everything with differentiation, who are simply attached to fruity activities. So in the karmic world, we are also getting into fruitive activities. Who are mean-minded. Mean-minded means fault-finders. Even in material life, they never support anyone. They never get into anything. Simply being a fault-finders like that, who are always trying to see the flourishing condition of others, and who thus do distress them by uttering harsh and piercing words have already been killed by providence. Thus, there is no need for them to be killed again by an exalted personality like you. So this is a compromising factor. So I remember one example to understand this particular situation. See, there is a fight between, mother-in-law and daughter-in-law. See, this daughter-in-law, this is general example. The daughter-in-law goes to some job and she gets handful of salary, and this mother-in-law always having that, the supremacy. I know better than you, like that. What she was doing, once some of her relatives came to house, and this daughter-in-law started preparing some dish to serve the guest. When the guest was offered with some prasadam, immediately this mother-in-law started pointing out the quality or the food stuff which is being cooked, which is not up to the standard how she cooks. So in that way, she started promoting herself in front of the relative and putting that daughter-in-law down. Now immediately this daughter-in-law got angry, and then immediately husband comes or son of that mother-in-law came, that mother's son came, and then this entire family has become so deeper into digging into this matter. Why your mother has to tell me like this in front of the relatives, and this what to say, this mother-in-law also should have some maturity to deal with the younger minds like daughter-in-law. They are at least they are putting their effort that should be appreciated rather than fault finding. You don't know how to prepare a bhaji or bonda or a simple dish you are not having any ability to prepare like that, putting down in front of the guest. Then this entire family has become like how Daksha and Lord Shiva's family position. So here in this family also such a situation. Then the solution to this problem in both the sides. One side is mother-in-law should have a tolerance that saying that see this daughter-in-law is not maybe not capable enough to cook any dish or something like how she was in when her engaged, right? That is deep rooted in her heart. So naturally she will put it across the table. That is her tendency. Instead, rather than she would have handled it, she is making monthly some reasonable income to the family. But if these are the problems with this generation like this, she would have put it in a amicable way. Another side, daughter-in-law would have taken it so lightly with minimum maturity. Okay, they all are there is a generation gap. Okay, they are in that mood. Then there is no much hindrance or problem in the family. Otherwise, this is the biggest problem in the today's mindset. Why? Because here it is mentioned that simply attached to fruitive activities. What is fruitive activities? Keeping we as the center, right? See, if you see any elderly people, they will tell, how I was when I was in 1947. We all are so disciplined. That day. Today's generation will not, having that mentality to take all their take homes or whatever. And this younger generation maybe should have the smartness to tolerate all this. Both are missing here. And in the purport, Prabhupada says the Lord Chaitanya's advice. So in our parampara, keep on, we have been, hearing more than hundreds and hundreds, thousands of times we are hearing this Trinadapi Sunichena, Tarorapi Sayushnuna, Amanina Maladena, Kirtaniya Sada Harihi. So what the take home message from this verse, in our parampara, this verse should be worn by each and every devotee like a garland, right? Put like a garland. This sloka, this Sikshastakam third verse, every devotee should wear like a ornament. I'm repeating the verse because it's very important throughout our journey. We should remember Pranadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Saishnuna Kamanina Manadena Kirtaneya Sada Harihi. What this verse says, just now I gave the example of this mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law. One can chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind. Right? While we are chanting, we should not have the pride that, oh, I am chanting, I am so away from, all this. No. Thinking himself lower than the straw in the street, the waste. No, I am the, worthless person in this planet. That is the reason I have taken a birth here, and I have been conditioned with these three gunas. Until I am in this body, I am conditioned by Sattva, Rajo, Tamo gunas. One should come to that state, then automatically he or she will see the clear path in their journey. Then one should be more tolerant than the tree. Do we have, see this daughter-in-law, she does not have tolerance. Immediately husband came and she complained, all these things happened. So divide of all sense of false prestige and ready to offer all respect to others. That means give credit to others. That should be the mood of a devotee. Right? So in one of the interviews, some celebrity was, APJ Abdul Kalam or somebody was told. When success comes, you give to others. When failure comes, you try to take it. Right? That should be the mood. That is called dasa no dasa. So once there was a not a atheistic king during Ramanujacharya period. They wanted to catch hold of Ramanujacharya and they wanted to kill him because they all are favoring this Mayavada philosophy. Not even Mayavada, it is an atheistic. Mayavada philosophy never told to kill some jiva. So here Ramanujacharya preaching the uh, Vishishta Advaita to the entire world. So these demonic kings could not tolerate, no, Shaivism is the greatest thing. Without understanding, though, Shankaracharya mentioned, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam, Bhaja Mudamate. So he is none other than incarnation of Lord Shiva. He himself says, chant the name of the Govinda, chant the name of the Govinda before leaving your last breath or before leaving this body. So, but very unfortunate that his, Lord Shiva's followers could not understand that, and unfortunately they created envious against the Vaishnava, and they had a cunning plan that to kill Ramanujacharya. Immediately, one of his disciples wore a saffron cloth, and then he went to the arena of this king, the atheistic king. There he went and said he himself Ramanujacharya. Then immediately they plugged his eyes, both the eyes they were removed, right? So then by knowing this, Ramanujacharya felt so compassionate, so painful, and he had a intense prayer to the Lord Vishnu. Then immediately that devotee has got back, his eyes. So what should be the tolerance level of that particular devotee of Ramanujacharya in Sri Sampradaya? Do we have that tolerance? Having influence of Guru going and tolerating the pain of piercing the or removing the eye, how big pain it is. It's not that easy. So even we know the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu Jagai Madai. See, Madai is the most fallen, you know, so-called civilian in this country, and Lord Nityananda and Namacharya Haridas Thakura, how much suffering they have undergone. So even in our parampara, there is a saying that the one who goes, this so much of tremendous risk factors in preaching movement, they call it as Nityananda Vamsa. Why? Because this Jagai Madai so strongly beaten when they were into preaching mood or inviting people for hearing the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's preaching. Then keep on bleeding. Jadai Madai beaten, especially Madai beaten Nityananda Prabhu. Keep on. Then Mahaprabhu came immediately by seeing that he reacted. Let me show my form. Like that, he took the Sudarshana Chakra. Now you see the perfect example of this Trinadapi Sunichena from Nityananda Prabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu is very, very, very merciful. We are very fortunate that even Krishna will not disturb us. Krishna will leave. Okay, whimsically whatever you want to do. But the, so Gaurnitai will not leave us. One should surrender to Gaurnitai first before going to surrender to Krishna. One should surrender to Guru. How it is possible? Yes, it is possible only by devotees association and by serving Vaishnavas. Please serve Prabhupada, right? When we start serving Prabhupada, all these impediments will go away. Otherwise, we will keep on accumulating anarthas within us. Associate, keeping Prabhupada as a center, keeping Jagaima, keeping, Krishna as a center, keeping Gaurita as a center, right? Stand in front of the deities. My Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj, always spend some time in front of the altar. Devotees, out of curious, they were asking, Guru Maharaj, why are you spending this much time in front of the altar like that? So Maharaj, Guru Maharaj was telling, see, I am submitting my work done statement to the Lord. See, that the transaction should be there. Whatever we do, we should not expect, oh, somebody should come and glorify us. No, you pat on yourself and keep, aligned with, serving Prabhupada. Otherwise, we never ever get into the normal move. Even today's quote, I would like to share what Prabhupada is giving message. If, if you have this message, just you can open and see today's quote. So today's quote generally in every WhatsApp group we make it. So today's quote from Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So today's quote it says, I'll read as it is what Prabhupada mentioned. This is a letter to Gurudas, August 29, 1972. So Prabhupada mentioned, do not depressed, do not be depressed. All along my God brothers gave me only depression, repression, compression. But I continued strong in my duty, so never mind there is some discouragement. Continue with your work in full enthusiastic Krishna consciousness attitude of service. So here Prabhupada gives very powerful message to all of us. See this. Yes, I have started chanting and I am progressing devotee. Doesn't mean that we have arrived, right? In the devotional service, Prabhupada says, what I am telling is perfect, what I may not be perfect. That means in Tamil there is a saying, ஆன்மீகத்தில் கரை கண்டவர் எவரும் இல்லை. That means, so Prabhupada himself says, near perfection, not I am perfect. Right? One could come to near perfect. Even Krishna also says the same way, Bhaunam Janmanamante, Jnanavan Mam Prabhadyate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So such a person is very rare. No, we cannot say that yes, I am perfect. I am Mr. Perfect. Whatever I do is perfect. Yes, whatever we do it for Krishna's, pleasure, that is perfect. But I may not be perfect in all the time. So that one should understand until I am in this body demands Sattva, Rajo, Tamo. One, if at all somebody may be there always in the Shuddha Sattva, they all are called Mahatmas. Right? So as a practicing devotees, we could not conclude, yes, we have arrived, to that stage or whatever. No, still we are having a lot of scope to progress in Krishna consciousness. Keep experiencing. Then one can come to the realization of how Nityananda Prabhu and how uh, even though the person may be in the state of Madai, Jagai or Madai, even the Madai realized, how compassionate this Nityananda Prabhu towards this most fallen soul persons like me, then that realization should come each and every one of us, right? So, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Prabhupada says this verse, Pranadapi Sunichena Tadoropi Sayushnana Kamanina Manadena Kirtanya Sadahari Sikshashtaka 3. And even Haridas Thakura in the marketplace, there are many people, those who are so loyal to the Mughal king, and they started beating, Haridas Thakura. Haridas Thakura never ever worried about even any stinge. Even I would like to, even Prabhupada mentions here Jesus Christ. See, Jesus Christ is the messenger of God, but he came and gave very nice things. What happened to Jesus Christ? Finally, they have crucified him into the cross. So the problem with the people. So though you see for devotees, oh, we may think, oh, death is the end like this. No, for devotees, birth and death both are the same. How to understand this? Take it from this 48th verse. So 48th verse, Prabhupada brings out very nice example. Parikshit Maharaja, for example, was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahmana boy. Yes, it is unnecessary. And this was very much regretted by the boy's father, a Brahmana, or a devotee. But Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week and the Brahmana boy desired. So materially when we look at, oh, how come the death comes so easily, Parikshit is a Raja Rishi, how come it is? See, for a devotee, both birth and death are the same. Why? Because see, I have whatever I have destined, Lord will sanction only that much. right? So until that time, let me please the Lord. Whatever Prabhupada's mood. What is the Prabhupada's mood when he goes by Jaladuta? Right? You, oh Lord, he writes one poem. Oh Lord, you make me to dance, let me dance. Oh Lord, you make me to sing, let me sing like that. So that is called surrender. Do we have that Saranagati? That is a big, So until we have a Saranagati, Lord will check. Even in Ramanujacharya Sampradaya, see, there is a initiation. We say in our parampara, Diksha, like that. In same, Sri Sampradaya also, there is a mudra. They'll give Chanku Chakra, both the arms for men and whatever the way for women to for their elevation in the devotional service. He went to his guru, Ramanujacharya went to his guru. Then he asked for one particular question. Then he said some answer. No, we want such answer for this. So like that, keep on 18 times he's sending back and forth like that. Go back, go back, go back like that. So Ramanujacharya had that level of tolerance, to go and approach his guru to please Vaishnava. So these all are the Lord's Leela. Though he is none other than Ananta Shesha. So who is Ramanujacharya? Ramanujacharya is Ananta Shesha, Balrama, Lakshmana, right? Nityananda Prabhu. So though he is an exalted personality, but Lord gives test to give this message to persons like you and me and us. So one should be mindful about, you know, what the Lord's Leela is all about. Otherwise, we may end up with, very puffed up quality like Daksha. But here, Parishit Maharaj never regretted for any of these curses because he knows, because he is a Raja Rishi, he knows his purpose is, Pandavas brought him up in such a way that he did not counteract the action of a Brahmana boy and agreed to die within 7 days. See how merciful this is. How Jesus Christ, how Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda Mahaprabhu pleading to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if at all we want to destroy the sinful person in Kali Yuga, then nobody will be eligible, to survive here. Everybody should be taken back. Like that he was pleading, so Paradukha Dukhi. Nityananda Prabhu goes and knocks the door. We know this first thing. And the Sastanga Namaskara he will do. The residents will come and open the door. They will look at, oh, nobody is there. Some child are playing like that. They'll close the door and go. But in the meanwhile, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sastanga Namaskara, doing, in front of the in front of the door. So in that way, the punishment so that the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world, Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. A Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. That is the meaning of Paradukha Dukhi. Samayojita Panditaha. Each and every jiva being created by the Lord. So let me respect each and every jiva for one or the other reason. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire uh, human society. So even we can understand from Prahlad Maharaj his own life example. See, from childhood, for everything he is getting opposition from his father or atheistic uh, person, Hiranyakashipu. So what would be the mood of Prahlad Maharaj? So that is most important. We should pray to the Lord, oh Lord, please give me that maturity for me to tolerate all these things. So here I'd like to, stop the explanation from Srimad Bhagavatam from the purport of Srila Prabhupada, and I'd like to take another 5 minutes to share something from Bhakti Sadachar, that is Krishna consciousness behavior. So I felt it is so relevant to discuss few points which is relevant to Daksha's anger and Lord Shiva's punishment to that anger. So this etiquette, Vaishnava etiquette is the ornament. So this particular sloka is the ornament for every devotee. So the rules and regulations. So here there are so many lessons are there. So I'll pick in the middle. Lesson 3, it mentioned that 3.2 rules and regulations. mentioned on the page number 9, the rules and regulations for the Vaishnava etiquette. In that, the sixth point says about one should not, sorry, fifth point, one should take all kinds of risk and perform all endeavors for Krishna's benefit. No, taking, but in Kali Yuga, we are taking risk to keep we as a center. Even in devotional service, we fail to please Krishna, we fail to please our own, possession. Right? I am the in charge for this, I am the in charge for that, like that. So here, the one of the rules and regulation it is mentioned in this way. Krishna's benefit, endeavor, all the endeavor should, for Krishna's benefit, not for my. Yes, obviously, we are also progressing, no doubt about it. Krishna is the origin. Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. He should always be remembered and never forgotten at any time. So here, Daksha forgets he is a messenger of the Lord, so that is a problem. And also here, Lord Shiva forgets he is the topmost Vaishnava. So this all this you know chaotic condition we can observe. So all the rules and prohibitions mentioned in the Shastra should be the servants of these two principles. So, so that is what the principles are being defined from various scriptures. So that is the reason we have so many rules and regulations. Otherwise, we could not march towards the 26 qualities of a devotee. What are the 26 qualities of the devotee? I'm not going to deal deeper into that. One is do's and another one is don'ts. The do's is we have to keep Krishna as a center. We should don'ts is we should not keep us as a center. Then naturally we can get eligible to all these 26 qualities which is mentioned from Srimad Bhagavatam 5.18.12 purport. And then what is the principal quality is surrender to Krishna. Krishna himself, here we are not speculating. Here Krishna himself mentioning that how to surrender by chanting we can surrender. By eating only prasadam we can surrender. By serving a Vaishnavas we can surrender. So there are so many, ifs and buts because it is not that easy to understand all this or follow in one day this particular thing. No, it is not. So it's a Nityam Bhagavata Sevya. So one should get into the mood one day, see, these all are the experience, Lord's Leela. One should have that quality. And another thing is imitation and following. There is a lot of difference between imitation and following. Prabhupada always mentions, don't imitate Haridas Thakura by keeping somewhere and then, chanting. Don't imitate. So better you follow Acharyas, how strong they are into pleasing the senses of Krishna. So following is different. Say for example, following by imitation. One point. Children learn by imitation of their parents. So if you both set Krishna consciousness example, the child will very naturally and easily become advanced in Krishna consciousness by following. As a child, yes, child will start imitate, but the child should realize that I am the imitation, I am not the follower. Right? In one class, I asked, so can't we also get into like Prabhupada movement? Can we do bigger seva like Prabhupada? So you take a flight ticket and go all over the world, but can we do the seva what Prabhupada contributed to this movement? Definitely not. Krishna consciousness movement. Rather, we have to do the following the footsteps of the Acharya is very, very important. This is the solution to the problem for both. For both the problem from the side of Daksha, problem from the side of Lord Shiva. And we should not, we should be very careful about the Vaishnava Aparadha. So this is the mad elephant offense. What Daksha did to Shiva is a mad elephant offense. So, four kinds of blasphemy, four kinds of Vaishnava Aparadha is there. What are those? One should be very carefully deal with, all this. As we all know, different degrees of offenses. So one is through mental, and another one is through vocal, and third one is through corporal or by action. So mental, vocal, corporal. We know this famous story of Brihu Maharaj, sorry, Brihu Muni. So Brihu Muni, he went to Brahmaloka. So Brahma receives him very love and affection. oh my dear son, Bhrigu, welcome like that. He has not given his face to Brahma and then just like that he walked out. Then the Brahma felt, so offended. Oh, my dear, my son only not, favoring to me to associate like that. Even in our Krishna consciousness moment also, if we are not happy with someone, immediately we will avoid, right? We will maintain a distance, all these things. Yes, obviously it is okay, but this is also one kind of offense, right? By ignoring, if the devotee is coming this side, we will go that side, another side. No? So if we want to progress, if we want to be a Panditaha, Samadarshana Panditaha, we should not get into that mood. Okay, that Jiva also trying to please Krishna. I am also trying to please Krishna. Every devotee has got their uniqueness. Accept that uniqueness. Don't compare that. Why? No, I am doing a bigger seva. That person is commenting on me. That this or that. Yes, obviously that Lord, nature's law will be taken care, or it may end up with Vaishnava Aparadha. Why you want to take control into you or us? So there are the second offense is by vocal. So Brahumani went to Brahumani went to this Kailaya. So he went to the Kailaya, and there in the Kailaya, Lord Shiva was just eagerly coming to receive Brahumani. Then immediately he is using Brahumani using some abusing languages like wordings like no, don't touch me, you are always there in the masana, your body is smeared with ashes, I don't want to come closer to you. Then Lord Shiva felt so offended. Then he went to Vishnu Loka. Then immediately he kicked Vishnu. Vishnu was in yoga nidra. Then immediately he kicked him. Even in older photos, you can find that in the chest of Vishnu, that foot mark will be there of Brihu. So Lord immediately got up and then said, Brihu, what happened? Brahmasan, Brihu, what happened to your leg? Because my chest is like a vajra. And what happened to your leg? That should be the mood of a devotee, right? Even if somebody is offending, let me bring, and these are the three degrees of offenses. One is through mind, and another one is through vocal or wording, and another one is through action, like how Brahmani, did. Even one of the Pandal program in Bangalore, Palace Ground, once my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapada Swami Guru Maharaj came, so we all know among the temples, one temple in north, south, west, all these, problems are there. Problem in the sense executing a devotional service by keeping we as a center. Then Guru Maharaj gave the simple advice for everybody, universal advice from me. You catch hold of the 10% of their good qualities, then your relationship will be everlasting. 90% let them have minus. But it depends on individual maturity level, right? At least Prabhupada says, don't show your envious among the devotees, show envious to others. Why this fellow is not coming to Krishna consciousness? Show your envious outside. Show this kama, krodha, lobha, mada, macharya. You show for Krishna consciousness, right? You aspire. So many bhakti rikshas we have to start. So many bhakti sadhans we have to start. We should have all this into this way. We have to involve so many devotees, and we have to invite so many jivas to the Krishna consciousness. So in that way, you divert all this. You cannot artificially cut off. Anger you cannot stop, and this whatever enviousness you cannot stop. You convert that into Krishna consciousness, then automatically it will be like a friend. Otherwise, one's mind will become enemy. Now, with the last, finishing quote, I'd like to say four kinds of blasphemy to a Vaishnava. The blasphemy a Vaishnava for his or her apparent low birth or caste. So based on the caste, this person born in a so-and-so caste like that, or feeling that this person born in a upper caste, so-called upper caste like that. Nothing doing. So here, Samadarshana Pandita comes into picture. Number two, aparad. Blasphemy a Vaishnava for previous sinful activities prior to one surrender to Krishna. Before coming to Krishna consciousness, one person may be like even a Pingala. We know the story of a Pingala, or I would like to bring, Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya. There is a Vellayamma. So her name is Vellayamma. During, Mughals period, they invaded Srirangam temple. So in that time, she was doing, those days, there is some particular parampara who do this prostitution kind of dances kind of, lifestyle. and she has become so wonderful devotee to protect all the devotees. The Sri Vaishnava devotees. She was so mesmerizing all these monks, ministers, and then she took everyone by dancing, removing her cloth and one by one, and then taking them to the Vellai Gopuram, which is there in the one of the temple tower in Srinagar. Then all these Muslim kings, by her beauty, they attracted. They were climbing the tower. Then she pulled all the important, ministers from that tower, and then she also fell down. And she compromised. She left her body for the sake of protecting the devotees. And then, but so we cannot see the previous birth or previously what they were doing like that. And then the third offense is to blaspheme a Vaishnava for some unpremeditated accidental fall down. So that means somebody maybe by unincidentally somebody would have fallen, somebody would have given some onion garlic prasadam, somebody would have tasted without aware of it, or maybe by mistake, or maybe without intention or something, accidental fall down, right? Prabhupada said, perfect example. He took sannyasa. One person took sannyasa. Again, he requested Prabhupada, Prabhupada, let me get married. Like that. Then Prabhupada told, okay, I will only arrange everything like that. But don't think it is a granted. But you do be in the moment as a grasta. Who forced you to come to this? That is a mistake, no? Who forced you to take, brahmacharya, or who told you to take sannyasa? Whichever the ashrama, whichever the varna you are, please serve Krishna from there only, nothing wrong in that. So that is the third, Vaishnava Aparadh point. And the last of the Vaishnava Aparadh point, fourth one, to blaspheme a Vaishnava for the last traces of his or previous sins or faults that are almost rectified. There are some people, those who come to the stage of, vimochana. Right? Yes, earlier I was not aware of this. I have been into all these abominable activities. After coming to Krishna consciousness, now I am not like that. Somebody went to jail by doing some crime or something. Why? One of the interview from Salem Iskcon temple. Now there is a security guard who went to jail, by doing a biggest, crime, and then he came out. Now that person is a security guard in Salem Iskcon temple, Tamil Nadu, and he chants every day 16 rounds, and he protects the entire premises of the temple. So can we do any offensive statement by taking this kind of example? No. So this Vaishnava Aparadh and controlling the anger and everything Prabhupada summarizes by putting this particular verse as a garland of each and every devotee. This is the finishing quote. Pranadapi sunichena, tarorapi sayushvana, amanina manadena, kirtaniya sada. So always 24 bar 7 try to remember Krishna only, remember Krishna only, remember Krishna only. So otherwise this Maya, we are already frustrated in this material world. Whatever the level one who tries to elevate oneself, but the fall is certain. So that is a take home message from these two verses. So here I would like to stop today's details. So if there are any questions, we can share now. Hare Krishna, am I audible? I cannot hear. Hare Krishna. Anybody speaking with me? My audio device is not.
Audible.
You can put it in chat. So I can respond to you if there are any questions. In the short form, if you put it in chat, we can have a discussion. Am I audible? Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, sir. Yes, you are audible.
Am I audible? You put it in the chat. I cannot hear you. My audio system. I can see Shruti Mataji's mic is on, but I could not hear anything. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Mataji mentions. Yes. No questions. If there are no sharings, की जय, Srila Prabhupada की जय, Ananta Koti Vaishnava की जय. Right. End the session here. Thanks for joining. Great.
हरे कृष्ण दंडवत